Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. I'm just flying around this area here, really appreciating just how many builds there are all squeezed in together. It's wonderful, and we got another one right here. Of course, this is our project from last episode, the Totem of Undying shop integrated into the wall and setting up a path here that's probably going to connect some other things that will eventually get built in this area, right? So we've opened up one shop and we have another new one on the horizon. Of course, we've been working on our XP storage vault, as I've been referring it to. Probably been calling it a few other things as well. It's essentially this project over here, but upgraded to the next level. And I have been working really hard down here in the mall. Hard work, you say? The reality is, peeps, I've just been playing Minecraft. Hanging out, chilling, playing my favourite game, doing some digging, clearing out this massive space right here. It's quite relaxing just to instant mine and get rid of blocks, right? And I've been clearing this out because we are going to be taking apart these farms right here and expanding them, making them bigger and filling this entire area with what we need to make this thing run at an even bigger capacity. Now, I know some of you are concerned about these farms. I do read my comments. These zerotick farms are bad for FPS. That means me, the client, coming over here, things look a little bit shaky, right? That's because there's lots of pistons firing. However, for the server, which is TPS, ticks per second, it has not a lot of impact. These things are really server friendly, believe it or not. So we're good to run these around the clock, although we will install mechanisms to turn them off. But right now, what they're actually doing is filling up more modules, because as you'll see, there's a whole bunch built here on the side, and if we peer down the end of the room here, look, there is a module down the end there that's now firing up. And I said that the next time you'd see the area there over on the left, that it would be complete, and that is true. But not only have I done that, we've built an extra module around the side here. We've created a room where there was once a ravine, and look, the whole project is prepped. We are getting ready to open here, but there is still a ways to go. I'll mention that the water streams up the top here have been connected, so the drops are coming around the corner. And in the last episode, or the episode before it, we made it so that those items could go up the water stream, over the top here, and around to the other side. So with all of that established, what I'm going to do next is rip out these farms here, install the last module, and then we'll take it from there. So there it is, the last module has been installed. That brings the total up to 128 furnaces that can fully repair an item. This is a fantastic project, and it's almost there now. The last of the item streams have been installed going around the corner here, so now the farms that we're going to build can deliver items to every single one of these modules. So that's what we're doing next. We're building the farms that are going to provide this with tons of cactus and bamboo, and these are going to be upgraded from the ones that you saw before. So there it is, my friends. We have constructed 2 upgraded zerotick farms. We will be producing way more cactus and way more bamboo than we were before. We are taking it to the next level here, and this stuff looks crazy, right? The first thing you saw me build in the time lapse for these water streams, that's obviously just to get the items across. I moved all of this out so that it wouldn't be near to this module over here. And we have the classic droppers over here to dispense the items into the water stream. Over on this side, we've actually got 3 all configured together, because this thing right here, although it's the same as the farm we had before, you'll notice that I've doubled it up. So before we had just 3 modules, we've doubled production to 6. And what I've noticed with 3 modules is that 2 of them are enough for a single hopper chain, but 1 could do with an extra 1, right? So what actually happens here with the hoppers is that they combine together in the middle. So the 2 on this side go off down that way, the 2 on the opposite side go off down this side, and then 1 on 1 from each module combine in the middle and go down here. That's why we have 3 in total. Now this over here is a zerotick cactus farm. And now I've lit it up because it was dark and bad things could have spawned up here. We're going to see this in action in just a moment. It's going to be really crazy when it's running. But I want to say thanks to Techman88 for sharing this design with me on Twitter. If you'd like to see their video where they showed how they designed this farm and some other designs as well, it'll be linked in the description box down below. I essentially looked at their video, paused it, and then built it from that. So this might be slightly different overall. I think the collection system is different as well, because I needed it to pick up the drops and split them into 2 different hopper chains so that we equally distribute them down the bottom there. So down the bottom here, we're yet to hook up some more redstone that will control these farms based on where the items are in the system. The idea being that when they come all the way around to the end here, we're then going to detect that and shut these farms off, because the items are then getting wasted at that point. But anyway, they'll be controlled by this redstone torch right here. So what I'm going to do is simply remove it. And the ridiculously loud pistons are now piercing my eardrums. Here is some Minecraft voodoo magic. Using quasi-connectivity, which is the diagonal powering of pistons, the movement of this redstone block up and down is zero-ticking the piston, and that actually provides updates to the blocks that it touches, so it makes them grow really fast. When they do grow, it's this mossy cobblestone that simply causes them to pop off. Sometimes they'll land on the cactus and get destroyed. Most of the time they land in the water stream, and then they get shuffled all the way down to the middle and into the hoppers. And if you're wondering what's going on right here, that is a very good question. Oh yes, the redstone blocks there are actually powering this piston. So this gets pushed upwards. For a second I thought it get pushed downwards. So we put our torch back, and then this goes upwards. But remember, those redstone blocks are powering the piston that's actually holding them in that position. So when I break this, it gets activated. As I said, there is more work to be done in this area. We need to hook up some more redstone, but I feel like I've given you enough of that for the beginning of this episode. So we're going to take a break for the next little bit, and it just so happens I've been messing around on the server and playing some shenanigans on an AFK ImpulseSV. So my friends, I'm doing a live stream. I do these regularly on twitch.tv/xisuma, and I'm cautiously standing underneath the ledge outside of Impulse's iTrade shop, because we are going to prank Impulse, and if I step over here, it means that phantoms can spawn in the night above, which I don't want. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's go inside. You see, Impulse doesn't have any cursor binding books, but he does have a villager we can trade with, and Impulse is currently on the server, AFK, and we stumbled into his base because we found some interesting stuff going on in the Nether, which I'll get to in just a second. So somewhere around here there is one with a curse of binding for sale. Excellent. 26 emeralds. You might think that's expensive, but remember, we have all the emeralds in the world. So we are going to cover Impulse in in some items that have been attached with the curse of binding. So let's get 4 in total for the 4 different pieces of armor that you can wear, and trade with this librarian. And there we go, 4 cursor binding books obtained. That was very easy. The hugely ironic thing is that we're getting them from Impulse's own shop over here. So this all started in the Nether dimension. There was this this llama right here, and then a load of pigmen. And when we first wandered into here, they were actually all clustered around one particular portal, and it was a little bit mysterious. At first I was thinking that maybe some of the glass had gone missing and that they were spawning somewhere, but we kind of sussed it out pretty quickly by going into Impulse's base. You see, I didn't think he was actually online at the time, even though he was AFK. So you can see that Impulse has a massive portal, and there are pigmen here, and basically this area's been loaded, so they spawn from the portal, they wander around for a bit, and then they wander back into the portal and go through to the Nether. And there is Impulse over there, and I have prepared a dispenser. Oh, this is so cheeky. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't think I've ever done this to another player on Hermitcraft before. So we have just gone around in a circle here, as I was going to put a carved pumpkin on Impulse's head, and we were going to change the theme from "You've been pillaged" to "You've been pumpkined." However, you can't put a curse of binding on a carved pumpkin. You can put it on a regular pumpkin, but here's the thing, you can only put the carved pumpkin on your head, and you can't put the regular on, which is kind of ridiculous. So we're back to doing the pillager thing. We are going to put these on Impulse. Like I said, I haven't really ever done a prank like this to another player, but there's a first for everything. So I know it'll do the head. I'm not sure if from that height it does everything else, but I'm sorry, Impulse. You've been pillaged. Oh, look at Impulse. Oh, and the evidence goes into his inventory. I should fill it up with emeralds as well. Okay, we've got a new thumbnail for this live stream. I've just decided. So the next part of this prank is thanks to a suggestion from the chat to give Impulse an iron axe, and then he's well and truly been pillaged. Now, I am very low on iron at the moment, but we were discussing it, and we realised that, of course, you pick up items into your hotbar down here first of all, and Impulse has already picked up a few items that are not in his hand. So we should need less than 6 axes, and Impulse will be holding one of these in his hand, I think is the idea. I'm not seeing it just yet, but we're going to throw a few more at him. Yes, there we go, we did it! We actually fully pillaged. Look at this right here, that's the ultimate prank. You have been turned into a pillager, my friend. That is wonderful. So we couldn't have left it just at that. I've got a bunch of evil people in my chat encouraging me to take this to the next level. Although there's not much more punishment we could deliver. But we've gone and grabbed some ominous banners from the farm. And I'm just going to, take it to the next level and just throw down a bunch of these everywhere. You have been well and truly pillaged, Impulse. Be careful if you are AFK on this server, for this might happen to you. I told my live stream that we were done with this, but I think we're going to take it yet to another level. There's chests of items here, and I spotted these because we came and gave Impulse a Totem of Undying as a sort of small gift. But now we're going to take all of this and leave a sign that says, "Yep, you've been pillaged." Taking all of his stuff. I'm just going to put it over here, though. Oh, too good. Too much fun. We're having too much fun. We do have fun on this server, don't we? And while I was here in the Nether, I actually got to exploring and discovering that Joe has renovated the entirety of this tunnel right here. Now, this is actually really fantastic what Joe's done. You see, we used to have these trapdoors on the bottom where the ice is, and if you remember, that meant that me moving through the Nether with my boats was really slow, but Joe has seen that it's much better to use boats down this tunnel than it is wasting loads and loads of rockets, because you can go really fast and just hold down forwards. Now, the problem is, when we want to get out at a stop like that, there's no way at the moment. I went straight past it, didn't I? And I've actually thought about a way we could engineer a redstone solution here. There are clues in my inventory. Can you guess what it is we're going to do? This could go horribly wrong, by the way, I've just realised. Well, not horribly wrong, but it wouldn't be exactly perfect. If we break these 3 right here, we have an entrance that lines up like so. And then if we put these in, this should keep the boat on the inside because the hitbox is the same as the glass pane. So then what do we need to open this is a redstone signal. If I put a button there, it opens just the one. Yeah, look, it also opens the trapdoor above. Yikes. I could put a little bit of redstone on either side, and there goes a wild Scar off into the corner, who's now going to investigate what I'm up to. I think Scar is coming to our rescue here with the ender chest. He gave me some redstone. I mean, this is stone that's red, but it's not redstone, you know. I need to think this through. So redstone block, yeah, the default position is open. If the default position was like that, that'd be a great solution to get it to ignore what's going on down below. Also, yeah, putting the redstone on either side just powers the packed ice block. So unfortunately, we're probably going to have to do something a little bit complex here. So what I'd like is a really simple and elegant solution here, not something that has loads of like redstone components, because the chances are you're going to need to interact with something, they're then going to need to send a signal underneath and all that kind of stuff. But I really feel like maybe actually I got ahead of myself here, because as you'll see, what I'm doing right now is pushing up against the side of the glass pane. They're not actually the same, so you will catch if you're going down on the side to this bit here, which could be a good thing because then you could open it and move out of there, but I think that's going to confuse players. We want something to be rather intuitive, and after goofing around with a bunch of different ideas, I think the best thing might just be to put some blocks on the side like so that are flat, and maybe put some redstone on it to prevent pigmen from spawning, or we could use something like birch buttons, which would actually look a lot nicer, right? So now when you come down in the boat, if you know where you're turning off is going to be, then you just go over to that side and yeah, you've made your way onto that spot. And if you do this by accident, you kind of stop and then just get on your way again and continue. It's not perfect, but I can't really think of anything else at the moment. This isn't too bad either, just getting slowed down like that, but it gives you that opportunity to just actually go, wait a minute, this is my stop, I'm going to hold backwards and then you can get off. Oh, I am going to scratch my head and think on this one, but I think we should get back to the redstone that I actually know how to do, which is the more complicated, but then again, trying to design something simple and elegant can sometimes be the hardest. So we may come back to that later on in the episode, because I've had a couple of more ideas since, but I've also been working in this area and actually putting in the very last bit of redstone. All I need to do now is put in 4 stacks -1. If I put in one more item there, it actually activates this comparator. Now this circuit might look very similar because we've used it recently, but essentially what it's going to do is when we activate it, it's going to move all of these items over to this side and then it's going to move them back again. And when it's in the process of doing that, what we actually have here is an AND gate with the 2 redstone torches. So I believe both of them need to turn off in order for this farm right here to be activated, or something along those lines. But anyway, it comes from this redstone signal here. This is how it gets activated, and that's actually when items fall all the way down the bottom here. So I'm going to put some lava in at the bottom, but we've got tripwire hooks, and the items are going to come out of the streams at the top. And so Cactus is on that side. It's going to fall down here and activate the tripwire hook. Now it's only going to do that when every single other hopper in the system is full, right? So then it's going to fall down here. It's going to set this thing off and turn off the farm for a certain amount of time. That amount of time being this right here, the time it takes to transfer all of those items across this hopper and then back again. Then the farm will start up and the cactus will go all the way around again and turn it off if it hasn't been used since. But if someone's used one of these modules, it then means it's going to fill it up before it turns off again. And then over on this side, hey, guess what? We've got the exact same thing going on. So let's see our new farms in action. We are missing 2 pieces of redstone over here. And now we can hear that farm activating, and we're missing a redstone torch there, and another one here. And it's all up and running again, right? Oh no, I never put bamboo up there. Alright, we are pretty much ready to go. Just got to bone meal these, and then break this. Then put in those redstone torches. And I can see items going down the streams here. Fantastic. Both of our farms are working. Whew, this took me quite a bit of time to set up, but it is fantastic to see it running. So I've got another AFK session ahead of me, and I'm hoping that all the furnaces will be filled up after that, and then we get to work on the entrance area over here and opening up the shop to all the other hermits. But before we do that, we're actually going to take a trip into the nether. I've got something really cool to show you that I learned in an episode of Myth Busting. So that episode was called All About the Crossbow. And I kind of knew that with the crossbow not being brand new, that it probably wouldn't attract a lot of viewers. However, I'll say, you may have watched some other videos about the crossbow, but when I did my investigations, I found some really cool stuff. And that's what I want to show you right here. We're in the nether because we've got a bunch of pigmen around us. And I crafted some of these rockets right here. And yes, I then used them to fly, so I've wasted quite a few of these already. They are expensive to make. It requires a lot of gunpowder and dyes to make these firework stars, but I've loaded 7 of them into this single rocket, and we're going to anger the pigmen here in the nether. Or are we? That pigman took damage, and by the way, the particle effects are amazing from these rockets, and like that, you can just kill pigmen without actually angering them. Now, we've got 2 together over there. Both of them took damage. Let's shoot in the middle of them. You can basically kill them in groups as well. But this is absolutely fantastic. They don't get angry at you. It's so amazing. I love things like this. And if the Mojang devs see this, there's probably a chance they'll end up patching it out. Now, if you hit the pigman directly or you just hit the ground around it, both of those things are good enough for it to take damage. So stand still, buddy. You know, I don't want to miss. Bam! Right in your face. And I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah. 1-hit kill. Alright, now I'm in trouble. And there's a ghast. It's time for me to skedaddle out of here. And I'll kill you while I'm at it. So I got back to the Nether Hub safe and sound, and if you want to check out that episode, there'll probably be a card on the screen or a link in the description box for you to click on. Go check it out, because there are a few other really interesting facts we discovered as well. So the next thing we need to work on is an entrance to our shop, and I'm looking up at this space and thinking we're probably going to put the name of the shop somewhere around here in some big bold letters. Now imagine my confusement as I start to wander in a little bit closer, and then I'm like, where's my shop gone? Where is it? I'm in the wrong end. I know it's not that one there. It's purple, isn't it? Yeah, it's this one over here. There we go. Oh, purple, and that kind of matches the purple, right? Ah, and look, the top here is different. And I've gone and built my water streams above it as well. So I was just looking at this one over here and thinking there's so much more space available. But with less space over here, it's not going to look quite the same. I wonder if we can free a little bit more up the top there. The answer to that is unfortunately no. As you can see, it was built different on this side because there is a shop in this space here. Oh, you can kind of see the original roof was actually built into here as well. Fascinating. This shop is technically mine though, but I kind of wanted to preserve it because Joe gave it to me, so I'm going to leave it here. So the shop sign that I would build would basically squeeze into all of this space that you see right here, and we would put some blocks in that gap to kind of fill it up and let the letters of the shop name pop out. And that's really going to take away from the entrance a little bit. So if we move it outwards to somewhere around here, then that beam going across the middle can be higher up, and it would fit into this upper space. But then we'd sort of be putting our sign in front of where other shops could go. However, there are actually like loads and loads of spaces to build shops. So I was thinking, why don't we take up these on either side and use them as part of the entrance as well. So that allows for this facade here at the front, and that's right, the name of the shop is XP Vol. We're going to add a T on the end, so it's a vault, like a safe, something that stores, which I think is really cool. We got alternating textures here, so we don't have to put spaces between the letters at the bottom, and that allows it to squeeze in. And I like the way the space in the middle lines up with the U, but I am thinking that the white on the bottom might look a little bit better if it was separate from the top. So I'm actually going to go grab some granite and swap those letters over. And now I start to think about what textures we could use here, and that I think is a little too dark. Now XP's colours are usually yellow and greenish, so I think actually we might be better off with prismarine slabs here. That, my friends, is looking fantastic. There's a little trim of stairs across the bottom. These layers are also 4 tall as well in terms of slabs, and usually you have to do it 5, but these letters can all be squashed, and so it fits in very nicely. And then moving through into this space, I've kind of lowered the ceiling a little bit, made a smaller module right here, and yeah, we've got these armor stands. Now I'm going to install a couple extra armor stands in this area as well, and those are going to have tridents on them. These are my other 4 tridents. They're not well enchanted, but I think I might use them just for aesthetics here. And perhaps we can find a pose where the trident points to this one over here, and then we have one with the trident upright standing stationary. Although I've got a feeling it might not work for this one. I want to use the drowned as the mob just because of the green theme. Again, we're trying to put a little bit of that in here. So these are like the guardians of the entrance, and then down here we're going to have an item frame with a book, and it's going to give you the instructions and all of that cool stuff. So then the players are able to just wander into the shop and use it after that point. I do need to find a chest to put the diamonds in as well, so this might get a little bit rearranged here. So for now, I think I want to leave these armorless, but we've got this one sort of pointing towards over here. I spent a lot of time rotating these arms and it doesn't really quite work, but I think your attention will be brought over here anyway, and this one looks like a really cool pose. So we're going to use all of the tridents, and in the book for posing these, there is a copy feature which I want to take advantage of. So I've copied that one, and it shows me as well. We're going to go put an armor stand on the opposite side and paste it over there. And look at that, it has pasted it, but it's facing the wrong way. Luckily there is a rotation option in here as well. And now we get to do the same thing with this one. However, what we're going to use is the rotate feature, or sorry, flip is the one that we want, because this is going to be pointing the wrong direction. If I rotate it though, it's facing the wrong way as well. So this button right here should do a sort of parallel flip. Do I need to rotate it as well? Okay, I think that's slightly different, but it'll work. It's not really pointing in the same way, is it actually? I'm just going to leave it like that. Instead of using flip, I tried the mirror over here, but I haven't got it right in my head, but that'll do just fine. So it's time to put in the books, and I was just wondering if I renamed this first, would it keep its name? And of course I'm talking about when we assign the book, but the cool thing about 1.14 is you can move the cursor around, you can highlight things, and you can copy and paste as well. So the XP Vault, this store will fully repair any item with mending instantly. To use the store you must purchase a pass from the chest in front of the vault entrance. And the second page simply has the instructions for usage. So we'll call this book Instructions, and then we'll sign it and we'll see if it gets renamed. No, it keeps the name, awesome. So when we put that in the item frame I've got around the side here, it just means as you walk up to it and look at it, store instructions, which everyone should read before they use this. Okay, so I've got our vault passes right here, and we're going to do a little bit of word of mouth promotion by making the very first few passes cheaper. So these are 24 diamonds each. However, there is one for 12 diamonds, one for 16, and one for 20. So the first 3 hermits to get here will get cheaper passes. So I encourage all of you to spread the word and let the hermits know that the XP Vault is now open, and if they get here first they can get their hands on a very cheap pass. So the first 3 people will get the cheaper prices. Well, I am absolutely stoked. Every single one of these has filled up. That means 128 modules ready to fully repair any item you throw its way. This is going to be amazing. I got 1 or 2 more things to do. I think I'm going to leave the beacon here for a while, but I'm going to fill in this gap and close up that entrance, close up this one over here. But otherwise, the shop is open and ready for business. So you probably remember this old challenge from earlier on in the video, right? Well, here's the thing we can do. We can interact with this without the hitbox of the boat actually colliding with that. And there goes the boat. Problem is, that doesn't stop you. I mean, maybe there's a couple of blocks here I could put up there that would leave this thing open for longer, but remember, I'm trying to do everything elegant and simple and compact here, and I just haven't found the right way to do that. The other thing that we can do is like this with a sticky piston. That actually leaves the trapdoor down below. Problem is, this don't even stop the player, and let's not worry about the fact that we've got a trapdoor here now. You see the boat's hitbox actually goes right underneath it. Let's close that up. Now I'm starting to think that an observer block facing the right way around on the side with something like this is the way to go. It may be a little bit further out, but from the boat you can probably reach that, and then with a signal going down below, maybe we could have some sticky pistons push up for a moment and then come back down again. It would mean that there'd be a load of redstone underneath, but it's probably the best thing we've got at the moment. It's a challenge, and I like a challenge. I'm sure together we'll end up coming up with something for this, and then we'll build them all throughout the tunnel. But that's the end of the episode. If you've got nothing else to do, then go check out that episode of Myth Busting I talked about earlier. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like as always. Thank you ever so much for your support, people. I will be seeing you very soon with yet another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye-bye.